All right. So, Naga, welcome. I don't know where the others are. I don't know that you're hearing down.
Good evening, oh. Good evening, bros.
Yeah, good evening. I don't know that the rain that has
Rain,
helped them.
rain, ke.
It's raining here.
The rain they fall online.
I don't know. Although they are coming online now, like on the WhatsApp group, but
Oh,
they've not
okay.
joined this meeting. Yeah.
I think they should be here anytime from now.
Let's just give them some more time. So how far now?
I do. I've been able to successfully install that stuff now. You saw the
Mm.
stress going through and everything. At some
You really
point,
stress.
I thought my system could not carry it. I'm like, God, I beg you.
Eh?
May no be say I don't go waste my money.
No, no. You that haven't had who will guide yourself. You say it's stress. Guy, we found our way by ourselves. Hmm. Can imagine
No,
what we went through.
well, it's really stressful. Like, by the stress is like you. I mean, I can't even stress yourself. They send you videos, all those kind of things. They
Hmm.
finish your data. You get that kind of thing. So, now I said the whole matter going to tire me. Even myself, I can't say, oh my, they disturb you. That kind of thing. You get,
I feel you.
yeah. But I mean, I'm just glad I was able to, at the end of the day, just find a way around it. I was using it to like try out some of those stuff that we were doing with the try me,
Okay.
like to
Okay.
be familiar with the
Interface.
platform and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was it now? How was it?
It was okay. It was okay for real. Like it was good. Like I was actually getting a hang of it up until like I had to do something else. So I said today to we'll continue. We go hard again.
Okay. Did you go through that last the last class video?
Yeah, I think I went through it. I went through it because it was through the videos. It was through the video I was able to attempt some of the try hack me those questions like those exercises. Yes. So I
Okay.
was I went through the video actually, Sha.
Okay, okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Andy and Mrs. Oji, welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Were you guys able to watch the video from the last class?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Did
Were you able to watch the video from the last class? Because that's where we really started getting hands-on. And from there, we're going to be just be building on top of that. So if Andy, you want to say something?
not really. I just wanted to tell you I watched the last video.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay. So we're building on top of that, and you have to practice. I emphasized on it in the last meeting we had that you have to practice the things that we are doing, not just like wash through it. You have to practice because the more we make progress, you need to make mistakes. That's what I was trying to say. That when you go to a class, there's a saying that when you go to class, the teacher gives you example, right, and then you understand it, right. But by the time they give you classwork, you fail because you actually learn from correction. So there are some errors you need to run into. It's like programming. You can't learn programming. You can't learn programming by watching videos. You learn programming by coding, yeah, right? By practicing it. Otherwise, you will believe you understand it, but you will not have gotten those mistakes that you need to make to become an expert. Someone once said that an expert has made more mistakes than a beginner has tried at a certain matter. An expert has made more mistakes in any field, right, than a beginner has tried. So one of the key signs of an expert is his ability to handle errors, his ability to handle problems, right? People that are experienced in a certain matter is not that they have less problems, is that they have better solutions. And you get the solutions by hands-on practice. By hands-on practice. So before we dive straight into the class, there are one or two things that I wanted to address. For those of you that are in Lagos, that I sent the Google, what is it called now? Like, I remember what's the name of that event I was saying people should attend? Okay, yours is Abuja.
This GD, what's it
Yeah,
called?
developers. Yeah, it's by Google.
Yeah,
Yes, let me confirm.
who's that?
So usually, right? Yeah, the Dev Fest. That is like the biggest conferences you will find for tech in general. All right. So I know some of you are not just doing cybersecurity, you are doing cybersecurity, you are doing maybe data analysis or something else. Right. Whatever it is you are doing, you need to find your way to that conference. If you're in Lagos, go to the one in Lagos. If you're not in Lagos, find the one they are doing in your state. If they are doing a Google conference, then a Dev Fest conference, then trust me, it's one of the biggest places you can actually go and network. And one of the mistakes we used to make then when we used to go for conferences to network is that our idea of networking is, okay, we go there, tell the person that look, I'm into cybersecurity. They ask the person, what are you into? Then we'll shake hands and hope that somehow from there we'll be able to get platforms or jobs or something like that. But it doesn't work that way actually. If you when you go for such events, and what you need to do is you need to go like you're going to make a friend, right? Approach people like you want to just be their friends or an acquaintance at best. Don't go like you're trying to get connection. All right. Because most people that are going there to get connection. So everybody's going with that mindset of they are seeing everybody else as a connection. And that is a terrible way to network. It's a very, very terrible way. You understand? So when I go for conferences, like the last one I went for instance, here in Port Harcourt, I didn't I didn't go to like do anything. I wasn't a developer in our conference. I didn't, it was a hackathon, funny enough, right? So I didn't really have any role to play as a programmer, as a developer, none of that. I just brought someone there. And by the end of the 4 days event, was it 4 days or 5 days? By the end of it, I was introducing myself to a lady and she was like, she have been hearing of me since the first day. I'm like, of course you hear of me now. Why? Because I was before from the first day I was more or less everybody's friend. People didn't know what I was into. I didn't tell them. I was just, but I mean, we're talking like, okay, let me know you. I'm interested in you. You understand? I didn't come and make connections. And then by the time people find out that okay, you're interested in them, they want to know, okay, what are you into? They will also, be interested in you. And that is a better way to network than to just come and be giving somebody card, complimentary card, and say, look, I'm into this thing. If you have this thing, call me. I'm not saying that one does not work, but I'm saying this one is far, far better. You understand? Because by the end of it, you have not just you have an acquaintance or a friend and potentially a connection. But if you do not have connection from that person, at least you have an acquaintance or a friend. Right? So that is very important. So let's see what we can do today. Please open up your Try Hack Me. I was telling you guys that I introduced myself the first day, the very first meeting that we had. That was when I told you guys I'm in the top 5% on the Try Hack Me platform globally. But I don't know if most of you attended that particular class. or if people actually took note of it, right? But it's just for you guys to know that okay, what we're doing here, right, is something that would really help you. Do you understand? So by the time what we're doing now, what we started, for those of you that have been following us, we've started the basics of the command line, the terminal in your Kali Linux. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to familiarize with the terminal. All right. Once we do that, I believe we'll already be approaching the end of this free class. So what will happen is I would put a poll on the group so that people can vote. Okay, I know some of you are more interested in offensive security, and some of you are more interested in defensive security. So based on what you choose, the part you choose, if you want offensive, if you want defensive, then that is what your project will be about. All right. I won't share the class. So I won't share the class. Both of you, everybody will learn the one tool. There's one tool I will teach you. I'll teach everybody one tool for offensive, and I'll teach everybody one tool for defensive. But your project will be focused on either offensive or defensive based on the track that you choose or that you indicate interest for. So open up your try hack me now. Open up your try hack me. I'm opening mine right now. All right. So if you've opened up yours, you can go to. Let me quickly save this. All right. We stopped at okay. So if you are here, once you open your try hack me, you go to resume learning. No. You go to view part. Sorry, click on view part. And some of you installed Kali Linux. Some of you have installed your Kali Linux, your personal Kali Linux. Some of you already had. I know some of you installed the very first class we had after the very first class. So I was telling you guys that you can follow along from your from your own personal Kali Linux. You can follow along. Although we'll get to the point where we'll do SSH, where from your Kali Linux, you'll be able to connect to try hack me. But we've not gotten there yet. But other than that, for these basics, right, like navigating files and folders, you'll be able to practice in your Kali Linux. So we skipped network fundamentals and how the web works because I told you that I want hands-on, but we'll go back to that hopefully. We have time. So in the last class, we interacted with our file system. So let's just quickly. All I want now is call and feedback. Please, so you start your machine. Start your machine. I want to start my own machine now. Now, sometimes if you want to start your machine, it can be a bit confusing. Like you're looking for it. Where is the button to start the machine? Like I'm at the top now. I'm not seeing any button to start my machine. But starting my machine, you know what I mean now? I mean to open my Kali Linux that is in try hack me. You understand? So let me show you how you know where the machine is. Now, for every room on try hack me, there are different tasks, right? In this case, you can see task 1, task 2, task up to all I did now was to close task 5 because it was open, right? So I just clicked on it to close it. Up to task 9, right? Now, if you look at this task, out of all of them, There is one here that has this. Look at this green thing that looks like two CPUs, one layered on top of the other. Right? This wherever you see this, it means that that's where the machine is. So our machine is in our task 3. So I can just click on task 3 now and click start machine. All right. So in case of next time, if you're ever looking for your machine, if you are ever looking for your machine on your in the room that you're doing a track, all you need to do is what you find what task, which of the tasks in the try hack me has this green machine on top of another machine here, or this green symbol, and that's what you click. Okay, so my machine is starting up. Your machine should be starting by now. Those of you that you have your Kali Linux installed on your system, if you want to use your Kali Linux for this now, all you need to do is just open your Kali Linux and open your terminal in your Kali Linux. Okay, but if you don't, then just follow these processes. More or less the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. My machine is loading. Your own should be loading by now too. So what we'll do once this loads up is we'll just go through the we'll interact with our file system. That is what we'll do is we're going to navigate through the files that are on the Kali Linux machine, on the Linux machine. This is the Linux machine. Right, we'll just navigate through it using all these commands here so that we can refresh ourselves. Then immediately after that, we are going straight into the main task for today, which is searching for files and shell operators. Yeah. All right. So let me I want to put this in a full screen. You know what to do now. If you want to put this in a full screen. Okay, no, let me just use it like this. Yeah, it's clear like this. Okay. So I said in the other class that once you want to impute commands in a Linux machine like this, you find the last line, the very last line in this machine. Once we immediately start our machine out, these are different lines. This is one line, another line. Right? You just go to the very last one, and you will find something that you always find something that looks like this. Okay. Now everything behind the art stands for what? Who can tell me? Everything behind the art stands for what?
The user.
The username, yes. Everything behind the art stands for the username. So the user that is currently logged into this system now, it's try hack me because it's behind this art. Then this is actually in the system you are logged into. Then whenever I see this dollar sign, after the dollar sign, it means now you can insert your command. Okay, so like I said, this is an operating system. The Linux operating system is just another operating system. Okay. And what that means is that just the way on your computer you have files like documents, desktop, pictures, that is the way it's also present in this operating system. So what we want to do is we want to check we just want to enter different places in the computer. Let's check what is available, what folders are on this system, and what files are there, how can we go in and come outside, right? Something like that. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, I think eventually my own is now the network is disturbing, but I'm following with the voice.
okay,
I'm
okay,
using my
all right. So let's move in. So right now we want to first of all we need to know where we are in this system. How do we know where we are on this computer now? This Linux system. How can we tell if we are already in the desktop folder or we are in, let's say, the home directory? How can we know? Who knows the command for that? You can tell me. Usually, I'm asking these questions like this now is because we've gone through this class before and I told you guys to watch it. So, who can tell me the command to know? Okay, Origo.
I think it's a PWD.
PWD, print working directory, exactly. Print
Yeah.
working directory. What is a directory? You can remind us. Jack, what's it? What?
A directory
Okay,
is a
Andy. Okay,
location.
okay.
It's just
Allow
a
me to
folder.
already. Yes, Andy said it's just a folder. That is it. It's just a folder. So when we say print working directory, we're saying tell us what directory we are currently in. Print the directory that we are currently in. Print the folder that we are currently in. That's just what it means. So PWD, press enter, and it's telling you that you are currently in a folder called try hack me. And that try hack me folder is in another folder called what? Home. Okay, so since we're in the try hack me folder, what we want to do now is let's list all the files. We want to list all the files that are in this folder. To list it, who knows the command for that?
LS.
Ls, let's list that. Okay. So we just listed all the folder, all the files and folders. And you can see there's folder 1 to 4, and there is a file here called access.log. Okay, so if we want to see the contents of this log file, who knows the command for that? We want to see this file. I want to bring out all the contents. Who knows the command for that?
CD into the file.
No,
Cat.
no, you cannot. You can. Yes,
Sorry, I
Cat.
didn't get it.
cat.
CAT.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have to cut it. Yes. Now
Yes.
you can remember that you said seed into, so you seed into the file. That directory there, directory means what? You said folder, Abi. Directory means folder and not file, right? So we cannot change directory into a file. We can only change directory into a folder. And this here is a file, not a folder. You get? This is a file, this is not a folder. So we can only change directory into folders. So if we want to bring out the contents of this file now, we'll use the command called cat access.log. That's what we'll bring out. So let's just press enter and see. You can see all the contents of the file has come out now on our screen. Look at it. I'm scrolling up now. There is a lot. It's a whole lot. I can't even, for time's sake, I don't think I want to go to the very top. So I will just go back. Okay. So I just press clear on my system. Well, it seems this. Let me see. Anyways. Okay, so hold on. So Cat brought out all the contents of this file, and this file is a very large file, right? This is me scrolling again. I wanted to just clear my screen one time so that it's okay. Clear is supposed to clear my screen, but anytime I scroll up. Okay. Well, you can just type clear because the text will be a lot and it's bulky. So you can just type clear like this and press enter to bring you to this point where there is no all that text is not cluttering your screen. Okay, so yeah, we've seen how to use cat. What cat does? Cat brings out the contents of a file. Okay, so now let us check out of the we said we had 4 folders here, right? So let's list it again from where we are. We are currently still in the track me folder, and as you can see, there are 4 folders inside here. So let's go into each of these folders and find which one has a file. Let's find which one has a file. So what do? We change directory, right? We want to change folder. So let's seed into folder. Let's start with folder 1. There's nothing in folder 1. Right? How do we know there's nothing in folder 1?
Can we not list the element?
Sorry? What do you say?
I mean, we can list the elements to check whereas.
Okay, I should list it. Okay,
Yes.
let's list it. Okay, so I just listed it now. It did not show me anything. So we know there's nothing in folder one. So let's come out of folder one. How can we come? What is the command to come out of a folder?
CD ...
Yeah, exactly. CD dot dot. So we're out of folder one. Now, how do we know we are out of folder one? Because when we were in folder one, behind this our dollar sign, they were telling us the folder we are in. Look at it, folder one. But as soon as we put CD dot dot, behind the dollar sign, there's nothing there again, which means we have come out of that folder. So now let's go to CD folder 2. Right? We're changing directory now to folder 2. And we'll list to see if there's something inside. There's nothing inside. So let's come out, CD dot dot. There's no, then we'll try again to folder 3. We list, there's nothing. Let's try again. Come out. We try folder 4, then we list. And in folder 4, there's a file here called note.txt file. What we want to do now is we want to bring out the contents of that file. Who can remind us one more time what's the command for that?
Cut it now. Cut
Cut
it.
it. Cut it. So we'll cut the note.txt. And it says hello world. So this is the content of the file, of the note file. Okay, hello world is what was inside that file. So now let's move on to searching for files. Please hold. So any question from that part just now, what we just did? Any question?
No, sir.
All right.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's make progress. Now let's talk about how to search for files in the Kali Linux. So there are different ways you can search for files. You can use find. Okay, as a command. Now, one of the things you have to start learning early, okay, is how to use AI as your co-pilot in security. That was a course I actually took by Microsoft on cybersecurity. So AI as a co-pilot for security. Microsoft literally has co-pilot for security, which is their AI that they designed specifically to assist you in cybersecurity. However, they designed it for organizations, not for individual use. So it's not free. It's not a free tool. It's expensive. In fact, it's not cheap. It's expensive because they don't expect. It's not for individuals. It's for organizations. You understand? But nonetheless, you have to know how to use this stuff. Okay, it will really help you because, like I said, once you're familiar with the basics, you can really find your way around most tools. Most tools. Yeah, like at least if it's a command line tool, you'll be able to find your way around it. Okay. Now look at the file. The find. If you want to use this find command to find a file, look at the command here. Look at an example where they put it to use. Find dash name password.txt. Now, as this command here like this, you can just copy this. You can just copy this thing the way it is like this and paste it for ChatGPT. And tell ChatGPT to explain it for you, the command. Just explain this command for me if I want to use it in the Linux terminal. It will explain what each of these things mean for you. But if it's something you're already familiar with, then it becomes even more easier for you to understand it, okay? So after our class, in case you are looking at it and then all of a sudden it's looking funny to you, you can always try ChatGPT first. And if you still don't understand, you can come to us. Just drop it on the group somebody will definitely know what it is. All right. So now this is the command here. Find. You can see is orange color. They're trying to just let you know that it's a command. That's why it's that color. Okay. Then this dash name is showing that you want to, the first class that we had where we hacked a bank, we used a tool there called Go Buster, and it was a command line tool. And I know many of you did not understand it very well, but because I mean, you just did. We did not really grab the basics before we did that. But by the time we're through with this, with the foundation of the command line, we'll go back and go and do that room again. I'll give you as assignment. I won't do it for you. You just go back and revisit that room. You will see how everything will make sense to you. Okay. But if you both insist that okay, yeah, I should go over the room again, you guys will go over it. All right. So find is our command here. Name, you put the name to tell. It's like you want to tell the computer that see, the name of the file I want you to find for me, right? The name of the file that I want you to find for me is passwords.txt. Okay. Then the system will look for it and give you the results. Okay. So in this case, now when they imputed find name, okay, let's just try it here. Let's come out of this file, CD. We came out from folder 4, right? Let's see if we can do that, if we can find it for us. Name the file that we found. We found a file in folder 4 earlier, right? Which is the note.txt. So now we want to tell the computer find a file for us, and the name of the file I want to find is note.txt. So let's press enter and see what happens. Look at it. It brought out the location for us that is in folder 4. Look at it. Look at what he found. He found note.txt is a file, and he found it inside this folder here, folder 4. So you can see. Is it clear? Is it clear, or should I go by it again?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how the find command works. Generally, most of the commands in Kalinos. Then I used to write down commands, but I didn't know that they were very similar to one another. I had written so many before I found out, oh, there's a pattern to it. Once you know the pattern, you don't even have to write down anything. Okay. Now, if you have done programming before, when you see an asterisk like this, the asterisk, which is, look at it here. Behind this .txt, there's an asterisk there. Just look at what I'm writing. There's what we call star, right? Star like this, star.txt. But you get what I'm saying. This asterisk, anytime you see an asterisk like that, it has a meaning. No? It's what's the name? In coding, there is a name for using symbols. Now if you look at your keyboard, there are some symbols here on your computer keyboard that you in fact, let me not say you never use them, you hardly ever use them. For instance, let me just type them in our terminal. For instance, have you used, I'm sure most of you have not used this before to do anything. This symbol. Most times, if you want to use this symbol, is this one we use, is the brother of it we use, the one that's slanting forward. We don't use the one that's slanting backward. Right? Symbols like that, symbols like we do use asterisks. Yes, these other brackets here. How frequently do you know these brackets? These brackets. And some symbols like that. But this sorry?
Is it not operators?
It's curly braces.
No, not operators.
Curly braces.
You say what?
Curly braces.
Okay, curly braces. No, that's not curly braces. This is not curly braces. Let me show you. Let me show you curly braces. This is curly braces. This is curly braces. This other one here that I left back that I didn't erase is not curly braces. But as people were saying it now, it just reminded me of the name They're called something expressions. Let me see if I can find it quickly.
You mean regex?
Exactly, rejects. Yes. That
Regular
is it.
expression.
Regular expressions. Yes. You see what I meant by it's not me teaching you guys, but sharpening each other. Okay, so in regular expressions, right? When you see now, look at like this asterisk like this, then maybe dots, then an extension, the extension of the file. Exe here just represents the extension of a file. Now, if you don't know what the extension of a file is, let me just quickly explain that. When we say extension, imagine you saw a file and it's .mp3. Automatically, you know it's a music file, right? If it's .mp4, you know it's most likely going to be a video, right? So this what comes after the dot is what we call extension. All right. So in this case, we have a text file .txt. Now, when you see this asterisk like this, what it means is that it can represent any letter. That's what it means. That asterisk means anything can be there. Anything can be there. That's what it means. Okay. So if that's what these asterisks mean here, then in this case, what are we telling the computer to do in this particular place here? Now, what are we telling this computer to do? Look at it. It says find a file for us, right? Find a file for us. The name of that file is anything.txt, right? It means it can be, the name can be anything, but we know that the extension of the file is a txt file. All right, so let me quickly create another text file for us so that we can put that to practice. Let's go to folder 3. Let's just seed into folder 3 and create a file there. Did we go over the command to create files?
I think that is. Sorry, sir. Since I can't see your screen, I think that is
Okay.
find hash.txt, right?
Find what?
Find hash.txt.
No, not hash, star. Asterisk.
Okay, sister.
Guys, if you want to, yeah, if you want to buy a recharge card, star 312 hash. The first digit you type is star. That one, that's one.
Sure. Okay, the first digit is star.
The
But
first
how
one, not the
come
last
hash
one.
is? But hash is listing in my system.
Hash is what?
Hash is listing.
Listing.
Yes.
What do you mean by listing?
I mean, it's getting the files out too.
Okay, hash is getting the files out too. Interesting.
Yes.
I don't know. I've not tried it with hash before. Yeah, well, maybe we can try it now. Let's make progress.
Okay.
Yeah, I will try it. How many files came out?
I saw TST file, TST MP file, and even hash file.
Well, I'm not sure. Okay, no, send a screenshot to the group. Let's see what you're saying. You can snap it and send to the group. Yeah. Okay, so yes. So let's just quickly see. I was asking, yes, did we? I don't think we went over the command to create a file, did we? Did you go by it? Nobody's answering. Probably we did not.
What's the question, sir?
Yeah, I said, did we go over the command? Did we in the last class? Did I teach you the command to create a file?
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Okay. All right. So let's just learn that one now. There's no need with keeping it for the future time. So let's just seed into folder 3. If you can seed into any of the folders, but don't seed into folder 4. We just want to practice something. You just seed into any of the other folders 1, 2, 3. So now I'm in folder 3. Now let's create a file. If you want the command that you use to create a file in in your Linux operating system is touch. Use touch. So let's touch. So what do we call our file? Let's call it note2. Let's call it note2.txt. Okay. So is it touch command? When you use touch like this, it means you want to create a file. Okay, so you press enter. So it has created the file for us. How do we know? Let's list. We're still in folder 3 now. Right, we just created, but we're still in folder 3. Look at it behind the dollar sign. We're still in folder 3. So let's list what's in folder 3 now. Let's see if the touch file is there. Yeah, exactly. The note file rather. So the note2 file is in our folder 3 now. Is that clear? Did it work for you guys? Did it work for you guys?
Yes, it's clear. It's clear.
Okay, all right. So now that we've created the note2 file in our folder 3, let's come out from folder 3. So now that we're outside it, what we wanted to practice was how we can look for any file, for a file where the name can be anything, right? But we know the extension that we want. All right, so let's do that. This is the command for that. Find name eric.txt. So let's put that. Find for us a file named what? Asterix.txt. So we just press enter. And you can see it brought out 2 files for us. The first file is the note file that is in our folder 4, and then the second file is the note2 file that is in our folder 3. So let's make progress. I hope that's clear.
I'm lost too.
Okay. Where did you lose?
So, so after we imputed the touch note2.txt,
Yeah.
I clicked on enter, right?
Okay.
And it just took me back to folder 3.
Yes. So now you are supposed to now check if it created the note2 file for you now. So how do you check it since you are still in folder 3? LS. So have you LS?
Let me do that now.
So you LS. That's what we did.
Okay, yeah, it did actually.
Yeah. So it has created it. So you then come out of it using the CD folder, the CD command rather, which is what we did here. Look at it here. We CD out of folder 3 because we already created note2. Then we now put the command. Yes, that should find for us a file where the name of the file is anything.txt. And then it brought out 2 files for us. It brought out the notes.txt file for us, which is in our folder 4. And then the note2.txt file for us, which is in our folder 3. We're making progress. Okay, so now I want to use the grep command. Okay. But before we do the grep command, there's something here they call word count. The word count command, which helps you to count how many lines of text is in a particular file. Okay, how many lines of text is in a particular file. So remember when we opened the access.log file on our system, it was so much I couldn't even scroll through it. It was too much, right? It didn't just cover the whole screen. I had to use the command clear to clear the terminal. It was looking cluttered. Right. So let's go back. Let's go back there now. Now we're not going to cut the file again. You know, we cut the file that time. That was why it was looking so messy because we brought out everything on our screen. Now we want to just go there and find out how many, because there were so many texts, but how many lines, each of those texts, how many lines do they take? Do they make up in total in that particular file? Now let's assume, like, why might this be useful? Now let's assume there's a file that stores user data, right? And because this can come in handy for both an offensive security personnel or a defensive security personnel. Why? Because if I want to attack somebody and I just got into the system and I find a file where they store their user data, I might want to know, okay, how many users, right? The data of how many users have been stored in this file. Yeah, something like that. So I know a lot of users would have their data stored there, but how many? I want to be sure the exact number. So, and that can be for different reasons. I need to confirm can be for different reasons. I might want to know so that I can know how many I'm selling by the time I move it out, or how large it is if I want to download everything over their network. Because if you hack into someone's system and into someone's network, sorry, and you want to download a very large file, you are most likely to trigger off alarm systems. If the cybersecurity analysts in the company know what they are doing, you will most likely trigger off alarm systems by downloading a large file. And of course, that what will happen is they will block you. They will stop your download, and because of that, you won't be able to get everything. So, and then for the person that is defending, the WC can come in handy because remember I told you that one of your major work would be to monitor logs, right? You monitor logs. When the computer detects the logs, it shows you go through. Remember, like we went over that and somewhere green, somewhere red. So you go through over those logs and find out which one is harmful. But sometimes you may need to submit reports. You have to submit reports to the higher authorities in the company, and that might include the number of log entries, rather, meaning how many times the computer pick something and say, I think you should look at this thing. Right? You might have to submit the number of that, and together you might have to use the WC command. So when we were learning, we didn't even know why we were learning, we were just learning it. But as we moved on, as we made progress, we began to encounter the use of some of these things. So please don't take anything like this. Foundational stuff is very important. So let's do WC. From here, we need to first of all go to where the access.log file is, right? And where was it that time? I think that's exactly where we are right now, because if you look behind the dollar sign, there's nothing there. So let's list and confirm. Let's just list and confirm. Exactly, that's where we are right now. Look at the access.log file here. So what we want to do is, we want to do a word count, WC. Now there's a -L. This -L is what says count each line. Count each line for us. So it's a word count command, but it's the lines that we want to count for the file, the access.log file. So you can see my explanation now. My explanation is geared at you understanding what the command is trying to do. Because if you can understand what the command is trying to do, and you've never used the tool before, you'll be able to find your way. Do you understand? If you go to, like I said, AI as your co-pilot, if you go to ChatGPT, you can ask them what's the command for this tool. Now, it's not every tool that ChatGPT is going to help you with. In fact, most ChatGPT will not be able to help you with most offensive tools, because it will tell you that you might use it for illegal stuff, except maybe there's a way you can trick it into. Sometimes you can trick ChatGPT into spilling information it doesn't want to, but some other times it's just very, very nonchalant and stubborn. But there are also different other AIs for just hacking, but they are not. You're familiar with ChatGPT, and those ones, I don't know, they really need some work. They really need work. But there's one we heard of then, Hacker GPT. Hacker GPT. But it's paid. It's completely paid. There's no free access to it. So I never got to really try it, but I heard it's good, and a lot of people use it in the dark web. So let's do that and see what happens. This is our command WC, which is word count. Count for us. We're saying count for us, how many lines are in this file, the access.log file. So press enter. And you can see it's telling you that there are 302 lines in the access.log file. So it means if we did that cat access.log, let's just do that now. Because this is one line now. Okay, still counting, but this is one line. I have to put this in full screen. So this is one line. We have 306 of these. So of course, you know it's a lot. Okay. So the command was wc-l, right? And the access log file. Look at, I just made a mistake in my typography. So it said that there's no such file or directory. Now, there's one shortcut I will just show you quickly now. Please pay attention. I made a mistake just now. I wanted to use the command wc-l access.log, but I made a mistake. My access does not have the double C, it only has one. Right? So what I will do on your keyboard, if you made this kind of mistake, or you made any typography mistake, or let's assume you don't make any mistake, you just want to use a previous command, the command you have typed into your command line previously. On your keyboard, you see that up button, up. Yeah, so on your keyboard, you see that up button that is there, just press the up button. If you press the up button, the last command you typed will come out. Like for me now, it just came out. I didn't have to type everything from beginning again. I just press up. And the wc-l access.log file comes. So I can now just go there and add another C. But before I do that, I'll just press up again. You can see the previous command before that one has come out. So look at it clear. That's it. This really comes in handy. So I just press up again. Look at the command I used before, the clear command has come out. So you can press up and you can use the up and down arrow key on your keyboard to look for the command that you have typed into your terminal before in that particular session. Okay, so I'll just look for that one. Yes, this is it. Then I can make that correction. Do you understand? Is it clear?
Yes, clear.
Yeah. So look at the question that we have here. There's only one question that we have. They say we should use grep, the grep command. We've not gone over the grep command. This is the grep command. Yeah, grep. So grep is used to find a particular string of text in a file. So you use the grep command. Here now, what they did is they use this grep command. Grep means like find this text, this particular, you see, just this string of text, exactly the way it is. Just look for it for us inside this file access.log. When you find it, bring the whole line where it is for us, just return it for us. So that's what it did. Let me expand this. So what we did here now, what this example they gave us, it said grep, we should attend the computer, please look for this file, this string of text rather. Look for this text for us inside this file. So inside the access.log file, there's a lot of text now. Let me cut it. Let me cut access.log. Okay. Look at all this. Each of these, remember I said each of this is a line. There's so many text as you can see. Now we want to find just one string of text inside this. Right. So in this case, now what they wanted to look for was this IP address. How do I know it's an IP address? Okay, we skip that part. Well, if you see anything that looks like this, let me show you. One way to look to how you can tell something is an IP address. Okay. Now, if you see something like this, 0.0.0.0, this is an IP address. Okay. So usually you can see it like this 0.0.0.0, or you can also see it like, let's say 192.168.0.1, right? But once you see like there's 4 digits, 4 different numbers, right? And then they're separated by full stops like this. That's one way you can just quickly know that, okay, you are working with an IP address. All right. I just wanted to just touch on that. Later we'll go back to that. I want to take how web works. Okay. So what they were just doing here is they wanted to just look for a particular IP address in this access.log file. We're looking for this particular IP address in the access log file. Okay. So now the question they give us is that we should use the grep command on our access.log file. But what we're looking for is a flag that has this prefix THM. Okay. So it's a flag that contains THM. That's what we're looking for. So who can try to tell me what the command will look like? You know, it's grep command I want to use. Who can try to tell us what the command will be to find a flag? Now, who knows what we mean by flag? When we say we're looking for a flag in cybersecurity, what does it mean? Who can try? I think I mentioned it in our very first class. Nobody? Nobody? Okay. So when we say a flag, yeah, usually it's just a text. It's just like a text, a string of text. That's what it means. But we call it a flag. Like, if you've seen some animations, it's like sometimes when you see this hill, there's this hill that an athlete is trying to climb. At the top of the hill, they'll go and put a flag there. There's a flag there. Right? So it's like if you've gone through the can I really call it hardship? But by the time you've overcome the challenge, right, you get a flag, something like that. Okay. If you overcome the challenge, there's a flag that is there. So in the case of hacking cybersecurity, there are competitions they call capture the flag. There's a lot of capture the flag competitions. Okay. Let me see. I wanted to just show you what's capture the flag. CTFs for short. CTFs like this. Right. CTFs or capture the flag. And those competitions, there's different levels to it. So there's for beginners up to advanced level. Right, what you are doing is if you're able to hack into the system, after you hack into the system, or whatever task it is they give you to do, you will find a flag, a string of text telling you that, okay, yes, if you found this, then you are successful. You had a successful mission. So that's what they mean by look for the flag. We're just looking for a string of text, not actual flag we're looking for. You understand? So let's look for the flag. So yeah, we can try. What command are we going to use now to find a inside this access.log file? Inside the access.log file, I want to find a string of text. And okay, you know what? Let me just use this. Let's just put this there example. This example they use here. Let's try it on our access.log file. Okay, so maybe you can get a hang of it. So grep. Now you can see now we're going to use a inverted commas 81 dots. So now we're just using the IP address they give to us. We want to grep it inside the access.log file. I mean, we want to look for this IP address in the access.log file. So that's what we're just putting here now. 143.211.90. Close it, access.log. Okay. So let's press enter and see what happens. It's not there. This IP address is not in the access.log file. So let's try something else. Let's try Mozilla. I'm sure Mozilla will be there. This Mozilla that is here. Let's try Mozilla. Let's try grep Mozilla. Time is almost up. Access.log is loading. Look at it has loaded. See Mozilla. Everywhere there is Mozilla. Let me expand this for you guys to see. Everywhere there is Mozilla, it brings it out for us in another color. Look at it. Look at Mozilla. Even where it's not even up to Mozilla, just almost look at the Mozill. It still brings it out for us. So you can see, look at Mozilla. So everywhere there is Mozilla is what it brings out for us using this command. So now let's try. This is the last attempt. I need one person to try. One person to tell us what command do you think, what will our command look like so that we can find the file that has THM using grep on our access.log file. Who can try? Who can try? Nobody. Time is counting now. I want to leave some time so that people can practice. Is the grep command complicated?
Yes, me, I
Yeah,
don't
I think
understand.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
close to.
But it's the grep that is confusing, I mean.
Yes.
Prior to the grep, people understand the other things.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Okay. So maybe it's the word grep. I wish they use find, it would have been better. But just anywhere you see grep, just think of it as find. Let's just assume it's find that is the find. Okay. So this command is another form of the find command, another form of it, but we call it the grep. Now, what grep does is that we use it to find string of text. When we say string of text, we mean if you put like letters together, join letters and letters together, it's a string of text. Okay, so it's more or less a word. A string of text is a word. So we use the grep command, which is a form of the find command, to look for a word. And why we use string of text, not just words? Because if I say word now, you'll be thinking only alphabets. But string of text is not for only alphabets, it's for alphabets, for numbers, alphanumeric digits. And they'll be in primary school, both numbers and alphabets. All right, so that's why I'll be using string of text. I won't be using words. All right, so grep is a form of defined command that we use to look for a string of text in a file. That's what grep is for. Let me just write down. Let me give you notes. Grep is a form of defined command. Maybe you can just write down this one. Okay, that's used to this is enough. Okay, that's used to look for a string of text in a file. All right. So grep is a form of defined command used to look for a string of text in a file. Now, in this example they give us here, we are using the grep command, which said is just find, right? We want to use the grep command. We want to find this string of text here, which is this IP address, right? Inside this file, access.log. Finish. That's what we want to do. Okay. So let's do that. Grep, so which is find. network. See, that okay. Mm.